Dice, dame la mano, perro. Saludito and let's go. This is gonna get really excited. I enjoy you guys.
This is shades
This is
of
it,
fantastic.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, okay, so we're going to get a little bit of a switch up from the set previous. Yamazaki going to come in for LAYEC, and Naj going to come in for MADKOF. So I love to see this. I really do love to see it. Of course, MADKOF is going to have to really bank on this character switch with the Naj. And I think they want to, I feel like they're trying to do this in response to trying to get either an earlier advantage to deal with Okris at anchor, or if they do get to a point where they do mid versus anchor, Naj feels like something that would be a little bit more of a contesting character for them. But regardless, we're going to see who wins here. CEO 2025 Grand Finals between LAYEC, El Cofero Ernesto trying to become El Cofero Primero versus MADKOF coming over from the loser side. Let's get into it, Cry.
Dude, it is so great to be here, and let's keep it going. The close C going into the quarter circle back D, finding some nice pickups. I mean, the quicker we get this Sylvie out of here, the happier LAYEC's going to be. Has been running amok throughout this entire bracket, especially against one of his games earlier.
JD gonna find this mark, not gonna be able to convert, but we're gonna be able to catch the roll out from the corner. Stan CD going to whiff, trying to catch something there. Oh my gosh, so we're gonna go to that fireball war. Very interestingly, gonna go into that parry, but is gonna lag behind, but gonna catch the jump in with the D, or the heavy DP right there. So the Rio looking very clean here early and looking very healthy in that meter department. Let's see what the Naj does here for MADKOF though.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've actually seen this character played at this level that, like, I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be going for. Obviously, your cross-up is fantastic, but it doesn't really matter when she's getting hyper-comboed here in the corner. Nice parry. Oh my gosh, if he would have gotten that EX afterwards, phenomenal stuff. All right. Gonna be able to get our stock activated here. Oh, and baits it out. Wonderful stuff. Hopefully doesn't get suspended here. Doesn't have to. No.
Yeah, the dive kick not going to be needed right there. Unfortunately, though, in this game, does not carry over between rounds, so you're going to have to build that back up. But Yamazaki, the GOAT with the coat, going to come on out of here. I imagine we're going to see a lot of JB, JCD action there from him, but it's going to be tough, though, because if you have Naj'd up against Yamazaki and you're able to keep up the offense on him, one of the things that's bad about him is he doesn't have the best defense in the game, so you can be very oppressive and very free with your offense against this character, as we are already threatening stun.
Yeah, a lot of hits coming out from her. It's one of the reasons she's such a stun master and why we're seeing those EXs. And he's aware of that, and he's spending the level 2 building that extra time. And oh, never mind, she's gone.
This character is how I got 7th, by the way.
Hell yeah.
He would just 2A, and then he would just be like, all right, go next character. All right, I have meter. You tried.
No, Yamazaki, I mean, an absolute monster in plenty of our brackets as well. Getting through there with the jump CD, actually beating the counter-strike. Oh my gosh.
All right, that JB going against the air normals of Gonus. That's such a good button to be using by LAYEC, because you know that Gonus is going to want to go into the air. You play the character after all, you know what he wants, so going to be able to snipe him out with that quick air-to-air button, very long-ranging, and then also getting that poison super out of there. Not going to opt to build any more bar, but just going to run up with the 2A and get rid of Gonus, saying, I do not work for you. I do what I want. Give me that horse meat sashimi. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get me a W right here. LAYEC looking very good here with the early set advantage in grand finals.
Hey, and my only complaint right now is how come your character's keeping my character from being on the screen? But no, putting on an absolute clinic of why this character is such a menace. The, like, mid-screen confirms. I mean, obviously, we haven't even got to see the reflector come out, and that poison, detrimental to everybody's health bar and my confidence as a player.
Absolutely. One of the best supers in the game in terms of its utility, especially when you're able to get the stomp and kick them away to create as much opportunity for that poison to tick down and the explosive damage that Yamazaki can get. But here we go. We're going to get some explosive damage right here on the DP bait from Sylvie. So right now, the Rio, who was doing a fantastic job to open things up right here, going to absolutely make it so that it happens even more here in game 2, because right now, Sylvie is on the back foot early.
Yeah, trying to look for anything coming through here. Has gotten a lot of spare hits. Well, Ryo gonna be looking for any sort of option. Hey, the command grab, we've seen a lot of Sylvie games, and this is definitely the first time it's shown up, especially the non-metered version. Excellent pickup here with the EX. Opts not to spend that bar, instead going for the situational setup here, plus frames and rolling his way out of that.
Respecting the ability, or respecting the possibility of a DP after those plus frames is going to be to their detriment, though. Allowed Ryo to get some breathing room by doing a back roll, and then going to be able to capitalize with the interaction right after that. So Naj going to come in against Ryo. Going to see if we can get a quick victory here with the mid character. We saw them do something similar right here, but the problem was when Yamazaki came out, it was kind of curtains for them, even though they had the early advantage on them. So we want to make sure that we have as much meter as we can. So if we get a touch after getting rid of Ryo, we can do that to Yamazaki, because otherwise he can run wild again.
Absolutely, and currently doing a nice job of building his time, but hey, the quick pickups, that's why we have this character being able to convert off of a weird aerial hit there. Najid, let's keep it running here. We gotta get through this iron wall. Foreboding, it's scary, and it's currently whipping counter strikes at mid-screen.
It's just so dangerous to play around that Serpent Slash right there. Tried to go for the Shatter Strike after the plus frames. Interesting option right there, but the 2A with that range and as quick as it is, going to be able to enable that punish opportunity right there. So we're going to be able to set up in the corner, and this is exactly what you don't want. This is where things went haywire, but like you were saying, the conversion ability of Naj and being able to get that really good guessing game after the simplest of touches is going to be huge right here. And now you put Yamazaki in a situation that they don't want to be in if you don't opt to spend to get rid of the character right here, but you just give him one more chance to guess.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is a risk we have to take. Yoin's going to need that extra damage, and it ends up working out perfectly. Able to take out the problem last time, but hey, the next one has arrived. It's the Chris ready to show up. What has he got for us today? Lots of jumping CD. We're waiting for it.
So I did want to allude to the fact that you have been mentioning the conversion ability, and now I'm starting to see what they're going for by playing the Naz, as they unfortunately get thrown out of what they were going for pressure-wise. Being able to go band for band with them in terms of that air-to-air conversion ability, have the quicker buttons up against the JCD, which takes a little bit more time than, say, a JC or a JB, and then you could be able to convert that into the vacuum. Nice. Would be really, really good here. But the frame trap, again, going to work out here against Chris. This could potentially be the end of the character.
It absolutely is, with that air super finishing it off there. I personally struggle with that matchup, and again, more retribution for me for finding it. Even the best players struggling there, so hey, I know he's not thrilled, but hey, it makes me feel a little bit better, so we can take that for what it's worth. Oh, did we go to character select? I didn't catch it fast enough.
No, I believe we're just going to load right back into the games here. I think both teams, or both players, are very comfortable and confident with their teams. I think they're just both showing their mettle right here. I believe if LAYEC sees Naj do much of what we saw in that game, which again, capitalized on the air-to-air conversions, whether it was just the minuscule damage but still leading into that guessing game, and then putting Yamazaki in that frame trap to get rid of him, or just being able to get that combo into the game-winning kill against Chris, see if we can get an answer for that with both Yamazaki or Chris, because other than Ryo, I don't necessarily know how many characters can effectively build a wall up against her with her burst options and her really quick moves.
Yeah, definitely not anybody we have on the list now. I mean, a DP is one of the best ways to just keep her at bay, or even just the threat of one, and both of those characters not really known for doing it out in neutral. So, excellent pickup here. We're going to see the Najid real fast after this last interaction. Oh no, DP's through it.
Time the DP working out a little bit more aggressive defensively, but the activity going to be denied at the gates. A couple of checks with the 2A. Ryo going to get rid of Sylvie in the point war, so Naj going to have to go up against Ryo. And I did say, and you did say, that having a DP up against Naj, trying to go for these frame traps, trying to go for these pressure strings, is going to be a premium tool for Ryo. So we can see if we can get a lot of extra credit done against this mid character from MADKOF.
Yeah, you can immediately see the way they're representing their pressure right now. A lot more grounded, a lot more scared. It's not even necessarily an actual fear as much as it is just character awareness and respecting the fact that this character can blow you up off of the smallest interaction. So we need to keep it steady. We need to keep it steady and find that moment, EX it perfectly, and take out the man himself. Sigh of relief it's time to go on to the next two and run that same game plan that won us game 2.
Less defensive capabilities in the character on the left here in Ryuji Yamazaki, but can still absolutely excel when they get started here and can try to play that space control game with the Serpent Slash. But again, hard to deter Nas, very quick movement, and then being able to pick up on these stray hits the way that she can right here. Definitely the way that they were able to do really good work in the game prior right here, but no trying to take their turn back right there, but nothing doing right here. Still a little bit of a ways to go, but nice trip guard with the 2B. Do we spend the level 2 here? No, probably EXOTG, exactly. Keep her in the corner, set up the strong suit of Yamazaki, which is keeping Nas pinned down in the corner.
Nice, and this is an excellent job here. Going to take her down to the last hitting situation. All we got to do is find one time for a good whip to come through, or instead of crouching A, wonderful button nonetheless. Let's keep it running. Hey, the problem so far has been gone, but hey, this is MADKOF. Everything's going to be a problem, and the Goints coming out live here. What do we got for this?
What we got is a lot of VAR here, so we can definitely make Yamazaki pay. Had the 2C there, no counter hit, so the 6-2-3 not going to work out right there. The slashes is going to fall on deaf ears. But here we can play a little bit more of that tornado game because of Yamazaki's lengthier movement, so he has to be a lot more committal in his approaches. Can also not necessarily throw out those serpent slashes because they will lose to that tornado. So Gona's being able to set the pace of the game on the outset and give Yamazaki a hard time finding a way in and finding a way to get their game plan started, and you're seeing it right there. Had to commit to that forward dash, and that tornado being a very good deterrent of that.
I gotta give it up to MADKOF's defense. I've seen him block so many cross-ups in so many difficult situations time and time again. He's really weathering the storm as well as controlling it right now. And
I see what you did there.
Better believe I gotta get one in.
I had like 5, so like you gotta get one.
Exactly, I'm trying to catch up over here. But excellent CD conversion here. Going to get that EX into the normal for half a bar. What a stylish convert. Trying to pull up here, but yeah, it's still Chris, baby. I can just slide in and get this party started. Not going for the 2 bars, instead just opting for that single hit, trying to give himself enough bar for a potential final interaction or an EX command grab. Always an option here. Has that bar to EX this. He doesn't do it.
Oh, that's unfortunate right there. Had a potential for additional damage right there. Don't necessarily know if it would have confirmed into a win right there, but would have definitely put them in a more favorable spot. But devoid of more resources than you otherwise would want right here. So Gonas does have a chance to extend pressure with his own meter usage. Does so get the plus frames, but still being a little bit respectful, knowing that DP is on the table for Chris.
Yeah, I mean, with half a bar, you can actually get a real one out, but I'm really thinking about spending that EX Fireball here at around like the 10-second mark to regain your pressure and try to get a jump CD and weather through these Fireballs. He's thinking the same thing as me. Apparently it sucked, but he finds the hit anyways. LAYEC going up 2-1. Wonderful stuff. Even in the worst situations, finding that final hit that he needs to close it out quick. I don't know how these guys aren't panting, dude. I'm losing it over here.
Dude, I don't know, but LAYEC regaining composure, even though they were down and out for most other players, but just knowing that they can just bide their time, knowing that the tornado is going to be the game plan for MADKOF, trying to slow them down and just time them out, but then finding the exact perfect moment to roll through and get the punish. And now we are 1 game away from becoming the champion here at CEO 2025.
Championship mentality. This is absolute perfection right now. LAYEC trying to do it before the reset, but hey, DPing getting whipped, gonna be a hard way to start yourself off here. Nice roll through. Aware of the plus frames that can come out from Sylvie in the corner and just respecting that so well.
All right, gonna slowly inch there, but denying even more corner positioning is Sylvie with the EXDP. Fantastic response there, but going to be caught with the JB same side, and now we could go into a level 1. Nope, opting not to do so. Gonna have a little bit more in the tank. Should we get a light into an EX Tatsu on a stray punish opportunity with the 2A? But here we go, just gonna need the heavy version right there. The JD going to hit, and then the force stand going to enable that JD or that D Tatsu to work out.
Yeah, and obviously Ryo, no stranger to huge bits of damage, but I really do think the Yamazaki with that extra 1 bar benefits so much from having that 1 available, and I think it's LAYEC just being hyper aware of that, knowing that he's playing one of the best players. Let's make sure I have something for when Ryo eventually falls. I'm gonna try my best not to let it happen, but we out here and we gotta be realistic. Nice.
Oh, Wow, quick burst option, then converting into the super off of the EX dive. Some good stuff there from Naj. And to your point, additionally with the damage being enabled with that extra bit of meter, you're also giving Yamazaki more resources to play defense with in the form of a guard cancel. So very much appreciated coming in at mid, because at point, sometimes you get locked down very, very easily by other characters. So having more of an advantage in that meter department, so you can definitely contest a lot of what Naj is trying to do to you, but contest you do not get the chance to do because the whiff right there, but unfortunately a whiff on the conversion right there, but we can still get the conversion with this level 1.
Oh, not enough meter. We needed the level 1. You even saw him go for the button there, hoping he just build the bar off of nothing, but the level 2 gonna take her all the way to the corner, slam her down a few times. The poison still activated and chipping through this EX to keep him in the corner. We spent it all, make it worth it. Never mind.
Oh, no, that's so tough right there. Even though you get all that frame advantage off of the EX to Dome stomp, unfortunately, you can still get thrown out of there the minute you go for a strike. Even if you go for sand, you are still in range to get thrown. And that is really good awareness here from Naj, just disrespecting them. Because you got to go for an advanced strike, but you don't have the opportunity to do so. You don't.
JC! Oh my God! Najid! Trying to stay alive with just a sliver of health, even committing the entire bar to it. Perfect awareness. Getting a little bit of bar off of that whiffed full command grab, okay. Oh my gosh, and yeah, the jump CD's gonna come through. He doesn't have a ton of options to chip here because his fireball is so slow and his DP not really great, but the jumping A is gonna finally ground her, and we're gonna get a fight of the anchors here.
No aerial, just defenses in this game. If you're in the air, you're opened up to taking that damage any way that it comes out. So Okris gonna send out Konis, a couple of well-dressed individuals dressed in white, and the jump over the 2C, gonna catch him on the other end with the whip. Now keeping Konis pinned down, and gonna get the 2A whip, or gonna whip punish on the attempted challenge from Gonitz.
Excellent stuff there from LAYEC, getting all these great light confirms, and you are trapped in this mess. Even if you try to roll, you're getting stuffed by these lights, your guard bar going down, not EXing that. Maybe should have gotten the anywhere juggle with it, but hey, plus frames. Slide in, we don't have the quick max, but we can keep it going. Guard bar slowly coming back to us. We need to regain that pressure, and Fireball's definitely not gonna be our way to do it.
Slowly inching them into the corner. That JCD gonna slowly crank away at the guard gauge, but the air-to-air conversion right there into the EXDP. Now gonna use a couple of jump ins to keep the pressure going here. Great blocks on the reset from the teleport going into that JB, but we are slowly getting put in the corner, but great use of the guard cancel to get out of there.
Oh my gosh, the quick max here, just trying to get that pressure on. We have 20 seconds left on the match, and this is LAYEC's tournament to win right now. Finds the JC, and it converts for the tournament! The perfect Okris pickup in the final moments. Dude, he's been putting in the work with that jumping CD and is able to close out CEO 15 with it.
Our grand champion, El Cofero Honesto, now El Cofero Primero, taking it with a set victory over MADKOF, definitely making it a tough time as we throw